Jim, next we'll be talking about antifreeze. And Peak Antifreeze is one of the biggest names in the antifreeze market across the globe. Peak manufactures products for the consumer, commercial, and heavy-duty markets. Peak Antifreeze is manufactured by Old World Industries. They're an independent, family-owned business, and they're headquartered in Northbrook, Illinois. So, Jim, there are many different types and strengths of antifreezes in the market today.
The key to understand is these are coolants. The main job of this product is to cool down the engines, and that's, that brings on glycols, in particular ethylene glycol, and that's most common in the market, and that's what we're used to. Ethylene glycol has fantastic thermal properties to start with. So the boiling point is very high, the freeze point is very low. The only problem with the glycols is it didn't do anything for rust and oxidation. And that's really where we're starting to talk about the differences in these different type of products. How much inhibitor? And the problem is they do not last that long. So the old green antifreeze that we're all commonly used to, and we still sell it today. Basically what you did was manufacturer said, okay, you drain your fluids every year with the regular green, and normally before winter or even sooner than that. Problem was no one did it. So that's really where we come into where these additives that they add to it to make it last longer. And that's where you talk about SCAs, boosted supplemental coolant additives. So on the automotive side, we always ran the greens. Then we jumped up into, on the heavy duty side, they said we needed something more. So you still had your glycol, which was performing well. Your additives jumped up. So that's where we kind of look at this product here called pre-charge. It already has the SCA already built into it. Boom, bumps it up, allows all the truckers to get that longer drain interval out it without the system. These have taken over, and this one happens to be pink in color. Pretty much a standard color for heavy duty applications. They run the pink antifreeze, and this is SCA pre-charge, and it gets them a longer durations between having to change it out or top it off. It was GM that actually first came out with the Dexcool. It's almost kind of think of, it's called organic acid technology. It's kind of like the synthetic motor oil to the mineral-based motor oil. Now they're jumping into this across the market, and now it's pretty much a standard for Europe, Asia, America, everywhere. And these are what we talk about long life, organic acid technology. And what this is they don't require any inhibitor package added. Having ethylene glycol that doesn't break down and isn't corrosive. And this stuff now is fit for life. So here, for example, we have Peak Global. Peak Global is organic acid technology, and it lasts for the lifetime of the vehicle. So all you're doing is topping it off now. Peak still has what they call Peak Long Life. This is still an ethylene glycol-based product. Go for 150,000 miles. So basically, it's like this SCA pre-charge from the heavy duty that now they start bottling for the automotive side. Still add water. So every one of these is still, and it's generally 50% water to whatever the coolant is that you're using. Water actually helps the performance of the product, believe it or not, when it comes to thermal stability. So you have to, if you ran straight concentrated product, it would actually have a higher freeze point. It would actually have a lower boiling point. You actually need water to help balance it, because now, this is a very thick product. So both ways, we get it in a 50-50 premix, which just makes it convenient. And that's actually where we go. When we go into the long life stuff, it's a little more expensive, but a lot of people will buy it in the 50-50 already premix. Takes the guesswork out. And plus, because you can add hard water, which can prove detrimental to your system. The global means that this is good for any automobile that's made anywhere in the world. So a lot of them can't fly that global sign on their antifreeze. Peak can. This is good, doesn't matter what the manufacturer is. And it's also made in a slight amber color. So if you have red in your system right now, or you have yellow in your system right now, you can add it right on top. Doesn't change the color. And like we said, we're only topping off. With that being said, that brings us over to the final charge. So they saw what was going on over on the automotive market, and the heavy duty market said, we want the same thing. And that's what you have with the final charge. This is extended life, organic acid technology, same exact thing. This is good for 1,000,000 miles. So on a heavy duty application, good to 1,000,000 miles. That's phenomenal for the trucker. So it's no longer bringing in the shop, drain it 4 or 5 times a year. Now you're going 1,000,000 miles. Boom, that solves all your problems. Even we said, this is still ethylene glycol based, their long life. But it's good for 150,000 miles. So if you have an older car that might have been abused, and you don't want to jump up to spending $7, $8 for the other one, okay, go with this one. It's at least going to help you keep that engine running. It's going to keep things clean. Very confusing with a lot of different colors going on and all these. But the thing to understand, if you're getting a modern day car, you're mostly just topping off. And that's why the Peak Global is a phenomenal one on your automotive side. You just top off with this one, doesn't change the color. And same thing with the fleet side, the final charge product, phenomenal product. And this has the best name in the heavy duty market, hands down.
Think about Peak too, the popular brand of Peak. It's one of the most recognizable names in all the antifreeze markets, as I said in the beginning, all across the globe. And PSC selection includes both conveniently sized bottles and 55-gallon drums to suit all your needs. And if you need any additional help, give us a call or visit us online at petroleumservicecompany.com. All right, James, well done.
Hopefully it helped.